Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Critical and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Last episode we constructed this massive fantasy style library that we're going to be finishing off today. We don't have much left to do. I just have to do the interior and some of the landscaping around the edge. But first things first, we have something to deal with. Austin has taken all of my chests. He didn't even make his own chests. He took all my chests, put his name on the floor, placed my dragon heads against the wall. And, you know, he thinks there's going to be no retaliation for this. First of all, it's going to break my axe because I don't have enough durability on this thing. We'll have to make another. But there will be retaliation. There surely will. So first thing we're going to do today, before we get started on what we actually need to get done, is we're gonna go build my name in giant letters over by the ruins he's been building, and try and get back at him a little bit. But anyways, we are over here at the shopping district once again this episode, as I mentioned, to finish off our bookstore here. So the first thing we're gonna start by doing is, I guess actually I don't need to take these out because I think technically these will stay floating, so I'm actually going to leave these in. But we're going to tear out the floor, replace it with something a little bit nicer, other than just grass and stone. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to clean up these walls real quick as well, and then once we've got all that out of the way, I'll bring you guys back in and we will start working on some of the finer details. And with that out of the way, we are ready to get started on the interior. So since that time lapse, I've changed a couple of things up. As you can see, obviously, I filled in the dark oak here. We have to keep it dark oak because, yeah, it's part of the design on the outside. And the floor design that I had in the middle, I've changed up a bit to just have these kind of single rows, a little bit less chaotic. These are actually signifying where the bookshelves are going to sit. So we're going to have, oops, I think I put my bookshelves in here. We're going to have bookshelves running kind of along like this on these and on these back here. And then we're going to have lecterns sitting... How did that place that direction? How is it even possible? We're going to have lecterns sitting kind of on these circular ones, facing the insides of the aisles as we go down. And so basically we're just going to have these kind of tall bookshelves. The bookshelves on the wall are only going to go up to this height right here. And we're going to have some like kind of stripped bark going up like this with ladders so you can get up to kind of an upper balcony that's going to circle the whole room going around. We have a total of, I believe it's 35 enchantments in the game, and there's a couple more being added soon, so I'm going to try to give us at least 40 spaces for there to be enchanted books set up in, or other items, whatever we want to sell. So I think most of the surrounding wall is going to have the things, and then there may be a couple specialty items in the center going up and down like that. But basically we're going to have these little barriers. Barrels. Words are hard. We're going to have barrels embedded in the bookshelves, and then we're just going to have signs on them with whatever book we're selling and with whatever the price is. And then up here, we're going to have kind of a little walkway running across. I haven't quite designed this part out as much, but basically the bookshelves are going to rise up. They're going to rise up against us. No, they're going to rise up probably... Hello, you're not welcome here. No creepers allowed in my bookstore. We're going to have these kind of rise up to here. I'll probably honestly put another set of... There's a weird bit of lag. I'll probably put another set of barrels up here if I can. If I can actually get these in place here. This is going to be kind of difficult. Barrels want to place like that normally. So to get them, you have to like jump and place them like that. But I'll probably do another row of them there at the top here on this end cap. And maybe this is where like mending and some of the other, like maybe the curses and stuff go, since you can only get those from, I believe, trading or chests and stuff. As far as I'm aware. But that's kind of the design for the center anyways. And then in these middle sections, because there's these kind of shorter middle sections that are a little too tight because you can't put signs on both sides if you have them like... oops, I ran out of bookshelves again. Hold on. If you have them like this, you can't put a sign on either side. So we're actually just going to have a kind of wall in between these. There's going to be a little opening here, just because I like the idea of being able to see all the way through from the front of the building. But we're going to have a little wall going up on either side of this, and maybe some fences or something running up the side of each of these to kind of give that more of a, these are the aisles you need to go down to check out the merchandise. And we'll have some sort of fence up here. Maybe fence gates mixed in to kind of give it a bit more texture. Not texture, but a bit of height variation, so it's not just the same thing running all the way across the walkway up here, because I think that would get pretty boring. But yeah, basically this is pretty much the design that's going to be all the way throughout the room, all the way along the walls. I got to figure out some sort of design to go around the windows, especially those bigger ones, and I got to add the cross beams and everything in the ceiling. Over here, we're going to do a fun thing. I think I may add a beacon over here, but I'm not sure yet. Where did I put the enchanting table? There it is. I didn't get it. There it is. This is going to be kind of like hovering up above, but not too high. I'm thinking maybe like here. I think beacons can shine through enchanting tables, so I may have a purple beacon going up into the sky. But in this area up here, because I was kind of thinking like, this is a little too tight for a staircase or anything like that. I don't want to just have scaffolding going up. What I'm actually going to do is have another dome inverted right about here. And then we're going to have a giant lapis crystal floating up in this space, kind of causing the enchanting table to float as well. And we're also going to have a lot of the bookshelves kind of floating up and around. I think this can detect up to here. I don't think it can detect here. It may not be a functioning bookshelf. We shall see. But I'm thinking of just having like kind of floating bookshelves scattered around this area. As much as I can. Not necessarily like that, but just kind of like make it look like the crystal is causing the enchanting table to activate or whatever with the beacon shining up through it. I think would be pretty cool. But I am going to need about 4 more stacks of bookshelves if I want to get this whole room done. And I don't think I have enough spruce wood on me to quite get this done. So I'm going to spend some time gathering materials and kind of working this out. I'll probably bring you guys in and do a lot of this on camera, potentially, depending on how long the next bit we're going to do takes. But we're going to take a quick break and work on a different project while I gather those materials. And then we'll pop back over here afterwards. Okay, so the second thing we're going to be working on today, which is going to be a pretty short thing, but something that I need to do for a future episode. We won't actually see this project pop up for a couple episodes, but I want to go ahead and get it out of the way and planned. I want to build a guardian farm. So I was thinking I was going to build it here because obviously this one is right by the base. Like literally it's right here. There's some leads and leather. Oh, there must have been some llamas that drowned. It's right by the base here. It's only like maybe 100 blocks away here. So it'd be super convenient for like popping over to it real quick and AFKing. However, there's a spot that I recall over by a coral reef that I believe had 2 ocean monuments, and I want to go see how close they are. Likelihood is they're not going to be able to be loaded at the same time. I'm not optimistic that this is going to work out the way I want it to. But I thought it would be kind of fun for us to check and see, because if we can get both of them loaded, then that would be fantastic. And I have no recollection of how close together these 2 ocean monuments are. I also have no idea how difficult a dual guardian farm would be. That may not be something that's I mean, obviously I'd be clearing out 2 ocean monuments, it'd be a whole thing, but if we can, it'd be kind of fun to do, right? Like there's no point. Like you can only get so many drops before you've got more than enough. Ow, I'm suffocating in my ceiling. But I still think it'd be a fun challenge, so I did want to check and see if we have that capability. That was an arrow. Hey, I'm being shot at. Hey, boy. Oh, it's one of you. I'm gonna leave you alone. Well, there's one immediately by the portal. I don't actually know. So the desert's in that direction. Let me go see. There were 2 or 3 in this area, and I don't remember how many there were exactly. I think this is the direction of the coral reef. I remember one was right by the reef. Is that grass floating? Oh, I'm gonna get, oh. I realized it a second before it happened. Terrible. I think that grass is floating right there. It is. It looks like it got cut off by the monument's generation. Well, this is not a good sign because I don't see any other ocean monument in sight, even though I know there's another one over here. Let's swim around for a second and see if we can spot. There's my boat. From being over here at some point. I know there were 2. Oh, it's way over there. Oh. Well, darn. They're super close. Like, that's as close as you're ever going to probably find, too. But, I don't think those are nearly close enough to get both things spawning in at once. So, I think that's kind of a blast. Is this a pufferfish? It is a pufferfish. Yo. I don't think I've ever seen one of those, like, actually swimming around. I've caught them with a fishing rod, but I don't think I've ever actually seen them swimming around. I forgot there's different fish in the tropical biomes. Well, that's kind of a bust and unfortunate, but I think we'll just have to stick with the single one. So let's pop back over to the bookstore and get that finished up instead. And now that we've finished that up, it's time to get over here and finish our interior to the bookstore here. Now, I wanted to say I did do a little bit of landscaping out here. Added a little bit of kind of my ceiling border going around the building. I thought I added a little bit more purple into it, as well as back here, since the mountain was kind of eating our building. It was like half buried. I just kind of carved the mountain back a bit. Nothing too extreme, just enough to make it look good back here and give a bit of room to walk through. As I said before, though, I didn't want to do too much of the terrain because there's probably going to be another building like here or something. So I just I threw some plants that'll hopefully grow and cover some of the side of this building a little bit, add a little bit there. But for the most part, I left this out here blank. I don't think we're going to mess with this too much. But I was able to gather 5 stacks of bookshelves. I went to the Mushroom Island and basically spent maybe an hour and a half just letting them all spawn, killing them, flying away, coming back, letting them all spawn again, and just repeating the process until I was able to get the leather that I needed. And I've gone through my entire sugarcane supply over at the island as well, so we're going to have to deal with that at some point. But we're going to go ahead and try to get all of this done. I should have enough bookshelves, hopefully. The lapis crystal I'm doing off camera, but I think most of this we're going to try and run through real quick. But it's nothing too, whoops. It's nothing too crazy. You know what? I should actually leave these blank and put just more spruce wood back there. It's nothing too crazy. Everything that's left is pretty simple. It's pretty much just placing bookshelves. And then, of course, we'll go through and, like, add in the names and everything on all of the barrels and everything. But I think for today, I'm just going to leave them as blank signs. And I'll do that kind of just off camera because I don't think it's going to be very interesting to watch me go through and name everything and decide where it all needs to go. It's probably going to be pretty boring. But I'm just going to go through and add all of these in. I want to try and do something... I don't know. I was thinking maybe doing something a little fancier with the with these top areas, but I'm not really sure what specifically I should do. But with the top areas, I mean these kind of border things, because it's literally just going to be a walkway going around the edge, which is cool, but it doesn't really have a purpose other than getting to these first 3 bookshelves. But everything past that, there's not really any bookshelves. It's kind of all just I'm sorry, there's not any like actual books you're going to be able to buy. It's all just bookshelves. So I don't know that there's much of a point in the walkway, and I want to try and find a way to add in some sort of purpose. And I'm realizing now as well that these top ones probably need to be the these kind. What are these? Like the 6-sided bark blocks? I don't know what they're actually called. I am also out of fences, so I need to get more of those. But so, yeah, there's nothing too complicated going on here. Yeah, so that's what it's going to look like. I definitely want to add some ladders going up in places, like kind of, I'm placing ladders on that side on accident, I just realized. Just kind of going up like that, and I'm going to add some signs on this side as well. But yeah, as I said, most of the barrels and stuff are going to be on the outside here, and we're going to continue the same thing I've been doing here at every one of these little intervals, where we do that. We just strip it and add a ladder going up. Why did that one not strip? I notice it does that sometimes, where like I'll definitely click all of them, but one of them will just randomly not become bark. Like just then, I did all of them and then they undid themselves. I may just be experiencing a bit of lag here, but so I think I'm just gonna go through and try and get all of this stuff in. I don't know that there's necessarily too much else complicated to this. It's pretty much just adding it on the bookshelves, so hopefully this won't take too terribly long. I'm really happy with the chandeliers though. Those were, I tried to go with something simple, and I think those with the cross beams look pretty good. I didn't do anything about covering the purple. I actually kind of like the purple being seen. I think it ties the roof in a bit nicer than it would have if I had just covered the whole thing in spruce, because then this room would have looked really dark, but I think that adds a bit of light to it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in, add all these bookshelves in, and I gotta gather some blue glass to help with the crystal. Actually, I do want to go ahead and real quick before I go away for that. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking maybe it'd be a little simpler if we just kind of, instead of having everything like floating all crazy, if we just had these like starting to lift, rather than going up super high, and maybe we just had this up one block rather than floating way up in the air. Because I want the crystal to be pretty big, and I don't want this to intrude on it. So I'm thinking maybe we just do something a little simpler like this. I don't know what level enchant this gets us though. I don't have anything on me that I can view that with. Let me see if I have any unenchanted armor. I do have an unenchanted chestplate. So this would get, I just equipped it somehow. This would get us only 9, which means, how is that only 9? All of these should be, all of them except that one should be hitting this right now. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess it's only 8. Wow, that's not very many at all. I wonder if I should do it like, okay, so how many is that? It's still 9. Oh, I guess because I already put it in there, I have to put another item in now. Crap, I don't have anything else. I forgot that it did that. It like locks the enchantments. Do I have any... I'm trying to think if I have anything random I can enchant. I don't think I do. That's my chest plate. I shouldn't put that in there. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to enchant on me. We'll leave this like this then. I'll probably go in and add a few more bookshelves kind of scattered around, but I think something a little simpler like this is going to be a lot nicer. I don't want to put any in the front here because it's going to block the entrance. But I may put some on the sides here. Not sure yet. But I'm going to go through, add in all these bookshelves, get all of this worked out, and then we will come back, build the crystal, and then that's probably going to do it for this episode. All right, so we finished up the interior of the bookstore, except for the lapis crystal, which I've got the materials in my inventory to build now. We're starting outside once again because the reveal walking in is just so cool that I wanted to kind of show you guys. Just us walking in. This is really awesome. I love this. I love the feel when you're here where you can't quite see that there's a top to these, and it just kind of looks like they rise up into the distance. And if we go up here, obviously you can access all the extra rows. I realized I could have put more barrels here. I almost call them barriers again. I could have put more barrels here, but we have enough downstairs to cover it. We have, I believe it's exactly 40 throughout the whole room, counting those 3 up there. So I did add a little bit of color in here. I added some carpet. This is actually hiding some lighting that we've got going on. Luckily, it doesn't affect your height at all, so you're good to run across it and be fine. But yeah, so everything there is done. I added in like a nice little thing over here. This should do level 30 because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It should have exactly enough to do what it needs to do. But I guess the first part of this is to test if the beacon can actually shine through. Even if the beacon can't, we're still going to do a lapis crystal. Because I think it's a cool idea. It'll look a little different if the beacon can't shine through. But I'm going to go ahead and plop one of these down. Right here in the middle. It's also going to be our... Yeah, look at that. It's super cool. So I'd like it to kind of already be turning blue as it's going. Yeah. That looks awesome. And then what color is it outside? Is it a hard transition to purple right now? Ooh, it's like a dark purple. That's cool. There'll be a lot, it's going to run through a lot more blue glass, so I'm hoping maybe it'll override the color. But let's head up here. So this, well, I've fallen. This is going to be a disaster because I don't have any of my scaffolding on me. Let me get some. Let's see here. There we go. If we go up. So I kind of want the crystal to start about here and end about even with that window there. I don't want it to rise up into the dome or anything. So it's going to be about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be about 12 blocks tall. And I think we can go ahead and start adding that in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12. And it looks like that one's going to overpower it, that purple. I may add a little bit of blue glass inside the beacon up there, like some panes that you can't see, to keep this going blue all the way up. But then what we're going to do is add some lapis around the outside. So I think what we'll do here is go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to break that. Hold on. Basically, I want this to kind of look... Let's do this. Let's actually raise this. This is going to be very difficult because I'm not very good at building while on scaffolding. Let's do it like this, where it goes like that, and then like that. So we've got kind of this look here. And then there's going to be kind of a little bit of a crack where you're going to see this through it. And then if we go up here, I want to do kind of the reverse of what we've done down here. So on this side, it'll start there. And then it'll kind of cascade down. That leaves us with, let's make these 4. So that we have a, yeah, that's what I want. And then over here, we're going to connect this to the lowest one. And I'm going to have to build some more scaffolding on the other side now to get this done. So it starts there, and it'll go to there, which means this is probably going to be the same on both sides. Crap. Jump. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So that's offset by 1. And it's a very tight fit in here, so it's not like we can do a whole lot, but I'd like to add in some blue glass here to finish this off. And then I want to add some panes on... Oh dear, this is where it gets difficult. I want to add some panes running down, connecting to the sides here. Preferably only 2 on each side, and I'm about to start getting real hurt if I keep falling here. Let's jump here. This is very difficult to maneuver in. It's a very tight squeeze, but I think looking through the windows outside, it'll be cool if we can see part of this No. Don't do that. It'd be cool if we could see part of this through the window. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is an extra one on each of those. And then 2... you know what? No, that's not even worth it because you can't see it. So we're going to get rid of this. Which means the last thing we got to do is just add 4 down here, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so let's just take a step back, kind of look up. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of a nice little crystal going on there. I want to see it from the outside though, because that's the place that I really want to be able to view it from. I'm just going to toss these down on the ground. Keep that. That's the place I really want to be able to see the crystal appear. So let's head up here. Yeah, you can see it peeking through. It's not like overbearing, and I didn't want it to be. Like, you don't have giant windows here, so it's very hard to see, but I think it's kind of cool that there's just like this little peak of a crystal in there. And then there's clearly something happening because there's a beacon going into the sky. Now, I do want to fly up and see if we can get this to... Whoa, that was way quicker than I thought it was going to be. I do want to fly up and see if we can get this to be blue. Yeah, let's just keep it blue all the way up. So it'll be purple for a block there, and then it'll turn right back into... Whoops, I can't see it. That was going to be cool, and then it wasn't. Yeah, right back into blue. I think that's cool. So that is it for the bookstore. It's officially done. I just have to stock it and name all the prices and everything, which I'm going to do off camera between episodes. But yeah, that's going to do it for the bookstore, and that's going to do it for this episode. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.